the strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You know the one. Today, we're going to peel back the fog on this Victorian classic because it is so much more than just a horror story. It's a gripping mystery about science, secrets, and the terrifying monster that might just be hiding inside. Well, any one of us. So, let me ask you something. The whole story really boils down to one unsettling idea. What if that person you see every day, that person everyone respects, the pillar of your community, what if they were secretly a monster? All right, part one, a vicious stranger. It all starts when a brutal act just shatters the calm of London. So where does this all kick off? Well, it starts with two cousins, a Mr. Utterson and a Mr. Enfield, just taking one of their usual Sunday walks. Nothing out of the ordinary. And on this particular walk, Enfield tells a story, and it is chilling. He saw the small kind of deformed-looking man just trample a little girl in the street, and the way he did it, so calm, so cruel. There was absolutely no reason for it. And we learned this man's name, Edward Hyde. But here's the thing. There's something just wrong about him. It's not just that he's ugly. Everyone who meets him feels this instant wave of disgust, of pure evil. He's like a creature that only belongs in the dark. Okay, on to our next part. The lawyer's quest. One man's search for the truth. And this is where our main guy gets pulled into the whole mess. You see, this story about Hyde really gets under the skin of Mr. Utterson, who's this super respectable middle-aged lawyer. And why? Because Utterson happens to be old friends with a very well-known doctor, a certain Dr. Jekyll. See, you've got to understand, Utterson is the kind of guy everyone tells their secrets to. He's got this little circle of trust. There's Dr. Lanyon, an old friend of Jekyll's, who is, let's just say, he's not a fan of Jekyll's new-fangled giants. And then there's Poole, Dr. Jekyll's super faithful butler, who's seeing all this weird stuff go down firsthand. So Utterson's mind starts racing. He's thinking his good friend Jekyll is being blackmailed by this monster, Hyde. And he's like, okay, that's it. He decides he is going to get to the bottom of this. He needs to find out who this Hyde guy really is and what kind of hold he has on the good doctor. And that brings us to the respected doctor, a man of science, wealth, and secrets. This is the other half of the whole puzzle, right, Dr. Henry Jekyll? On the surface, this guy has everything going for him. And this is where things get really, really weird. I mean, look at this contrast. On one hand, you have Dr. Jekyll. Tall, handsome, respected, the total package. And on the other, Edward Hyde. Small, disgusting. I mean, pure evil is literally how he's described. So, the question is, how in the world are these two connected? It seems impossible. And just when you think it can't get worse, oh, it does. The whole thing escalates. Hyde isn't just some cruel guy anymore. No, now he's a murderer. And this whole mystery just became a life or death situation. And his victim? A man named Sir Danvers Carew. A really well-respected, gentle older gentleman. A maid actually saw the whole thing happen. She watched Hyde just beat him to death in the street with a heavy cane. It was this explosion of pure, terrifying rage. This is what's so strange for everyone trying to figure this out. Whenever anyone sees Hyde, they have this gut reaction, this feeling of just revulsion. They know he's evil, but they can't tell you exactly why. It's not just how he looks. It's like an aura of horror coming off of him. But then a real clue finally emerges. Utterson's clerk, who happens to be a handwriting expert, takes a look at a note written by Hyde, and he finds something shocking. The handwriting, it's exactly the same as Dr. Jekyll's, just sloped differently. Okay, so now the link isn't just a hunch, it is undeniable. All right, this is it. The horrifying truth. The final pieces are about to fall into place. And believe me, what's coming is one of the biggest twists of all time. The truth is so much stranger and more terrifying than Utterson could ever dream of. So the big finale kicks off when Poole, Jekyll's butler, shows up at Utterson's house in a complete and total panic. He's terrified. He says the doctor has locked himself in his lab for days and he keeps hearing these cries. But the voice isn't Jekyll's. Poole is absolutely convinced something terrible has happened to his master. So Utterson and Poole, they grab an axe and they break down the laboratory door. But Dr. Jekyll isn't there. Instead, they find the body of Edward Hyde. He's wearing Jekyll's clothes, and he's dead. And right there on the desk is a big envelope. It's a letter, a full confession, and it's for Utterson. And this letter explains everything. It's the key to the whole mystery. Dr. Jekyll lays it all out. The impossible connection, the strange behavior, and the horrifying crimes. So the letter reveals that the good doctor, the highly respected Henry Jekyll, and this monster, this creature of pure evil, Edward Hyde, they weren't two different men. They were the same person. So here's the crazy part. Jekyll explains that he had this theory that every single one of us has a good side and an evil side, right? Battling it out inside. So he creates this potion to literally separate the two. It let him turn into Hyde and just do all the terrible things he secretly wanted to do without any of the guilt. But he lost control. The evil part, Hyde, it just got stronger and stronger until eventually it started to take over for good. And so that really leaves us with this one kind of chilling question, doesn't it? It makes you wonder about the masks we all wear and what secrets could be hiding behind even the most respectable face.